or found object, right? So that's the first two, the wax carving or found object. And if you're going to use something for the organic objects, leaf, pot, seeds, bugs, what else? Woods, anything organic, it might contain, everything will absorb the water. It has to be nicely coated by shellac. Shellac is one I showed you last class. By the way, everything we need is in our tool locker. So, find it in here. Looks like this. Spray. So you're going to spray it outside, bring in a sheet of paper, and then having an object on the top. Let's pretend this is the actual spider. And then you just spray it. And then having a nice even coat for the top, bottom, side by side, everywhere. Okay? And the reason why we do the spray is because the spray have a nice even coat and it's thin coat, so that if there is something texture on it, you can still show on the casting. But if you dip it for something, like shellac also comes with a liquid form. If you dip the shellac, it might be too thick that your texture might be disappeared.
We can do an experiment because I dipped some last night.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you can definitely do it.
It's very thin shellac. It's not like a paint, so it's very thin. You have to think about how to drain it off. So if you stand it right, it might drain off. So we'll see.
Yeah. So if you want to try that, you can buy those little can. Liquid one comes a little can, and you can buy those from the hardware store. And then it's not that cheap if you're thinking about the spray paint. This costs almost $10. Yeah. So yeah, it's more than I thought actually.
I wonder if people had bought that exact thing last night. It was like 6.
What, really? Oh. Oh well. This is nice.
It is.
No, like not personal items. Yeah, so I didn't purchase it, luckily. Yeah. Okay, so that's those two. If you're coming right now, write it down everything on your note. And then next one is a spoon. By the way, everything have a star on it. Spoon have a star. It means that it's especially important. Okay, so now you have those objects. I have this baby hen. Baby hen, I cut it in half. So now this is like almost the thickness of the 16 gauge, which is pretty good. And then it's a hollow, so you know you get for like exactly the same shape. It will be like sheet metal, right? So if you're thinking about the weight, this is the weight that you want. You don't want to have like heavy one. You know, the solid will be really heavy and cost a lot. So that's why I cut it this. I have a spider and then I have a ring. The spooling is the way you connect the object to like a tree. So when you cast it, that tree is the like water channel. Water channel to go into your object. So this is an example, like tree. So if you have an object like one here, one here, one here, this all have to be connected by, it doesn't have to be one tree. It could be like one tree here, and then one tree here, and then connect to the bottom, like this. But it has to be having something to going a metal into your object. Okay? So that's the spooling. And just to think that liquid metal as the water. Water, if you have like nice solid pipe, it just goes straight in, and then it drains faster. But if you have something narrower, you know, like pipe, it's going narrower, you know how much water it will drain, you know, not as drains as easily as just a straight pipe, right? But also, if you have the pipe like this, it's a little bit flared in, so it goes like this, that's probably even drain faster, right? So think of that way. And then the screwing, we have the main screw and then feed screw, which when I draw this object for two things, connected by two. Okay, this is the main screw, this part, which means that like a tree stump. And then this is branches. So the branches, it can be a little bit thinner than your main screw. The feeding screw is, let's say probably this is like 8. I'll remove this for a second. About main screw is maybe 4 to 8 gauge. If you think of the wire. And then the feed screw is probably about 8 to 10 gauge will be ideal. Okay? And then in the store, we sell those screws. It comes like this. Okay, I'll pass this around. This is the main screw. This is a little bit, this is a full gauge. It's thicker. And then this is an 8 gauge. I don't think we have a 6 gauge in the store right this moment. So you can use those 8 gauge. And then, yeah. It comes with this nice red color, which means that this wax is a soft wax. This wax is more flexible than, you know, what I introduced for the carving. The blue one, purple one, and green one. The pink one is more flexible, so you can bend it without snapping. Yeah, it's called a soft wax, and also called the blue wax. Okay, and then, did I pass the 10 gauge, the green one? Okay, yeah.